anesthesia and the public health nurse. Now, the third barrier is the lack of attention to promoting the professional practice of midwifery as an important mechanism for achieving some important public health goals. If you ask somebody, whenever they say improve any public health goal, they always think about drugs, they think about hospitals, they think about doctors, sometimes they even think about ambulance, but they hardly think about midwives. When in fact, midwives can be a powerful instrument at achieving many of our public health goals. Now, Prism 2 is different from Prism 1 because in Prism 1, our instructions from USAID was help mobilize the private sector. That's why we work with private practice midwives. Prism 2 is different because USAID's instruction to the project is assist the government to mobilize the private sector. So it's different because we are trying to change the way our government manages promotes or supports the professional practice of midwifery. And these are some of the critical changes that we are trying to facilitate in government. The first one is for government to recognize the value and importance of expanding professional practice of midwifery in both the public and private settings as an important mechanism for improving the health of mothers and children. So, dapat isipin nila ang practice of midwifery in the public as well as in the private sector as really by itself as a mechanism for improving the health of mothers and children. Then once they recognize that, government should provide a stable, predictable, and supported policies based on enabling professional practice of midwifery to deliver quality care for mothers, newborns, and children. What we mean by stable is dapat policies that the midwife can depend on over her career. Hindi yung policies na this year lang or this month lang or next month lang. Because these are career-long decision-making of people. Predictable because you'd like to be able to know that if you set up a clinic, tomorrow they will not eliminate the payment to the services that the clinic does now. That the maternal care package will not suddenly disappear after you have made an investment in serving the needs of those who need that package. And finally, and supportive because you want it to encourage the practice of professional practice of midwifery because that is the one that will deliver the result that the government wants. Finally, we are trying to work with the Department of Health, with PhilHealth, with the local government to create financing and other mechanisms to enable midwives to invest in their practice and sustain their practices through the provision of quality care. Now, I am told that the mark of a less developed country is that there are two kinds of anomalies in it. Okay. One anomaly in a less developed country is that those who are doing a lot for the socio-economic development of the country are not sufficiently rewarded economically. So, maraming na gumagawa pero walang economic returns. That's one anomaly. The other anomaly is that those who are not doing a lot for the socio-economic benefit of the country and in fact destroying the country have a lot of economic returns. That's the opposite, okay? These two go together. Okay, so for example, if farmers who plant and help feed us become impoverished, then we discourage people from being farmers, and therefore we are unable to feed ourselves as a country. If teachers who teach our children are not accorded the adequate compensation, then we discourage the best people from teaching our children. Now, if midwives who save lives of mothers and children are not sufficiently rewarded, then we make it hard for mothers and children to survive. That is the first anomaly. The second anomaly is that if dishonest politicians make money and get re-elected, then we are rewarding corruption and dishonesty in government. If drug lords and crime are rewarded, then it is so. Now, we should start thinking of our work with midwifery as an effort to at least change one part of our country. We want people like midwives who save the lives of mothers and children in poor, disadvantaged communities to be properly rewarded economically. Because if they are rewarded economically, then they will continue doing that, and more of them will continue doing that until our whole country becomes better. That is the sense that we are helping our government make a change. Next slide, please. But there are important responses on the part of the midwives. Meaning to say, the government can change its policies, provide incentives, provide directions, good environment. But if the midwives do not respond, then we also miss out on the opportunity. The first one is that we would like to see midwives organize themselves for mutual support and peer pressure to sustain quality care practices, specifically in the areas where they operate. Often, it's very easy to claim quality care in the national or the regional forum, but it's harder to maintain quality care at the local, in the community where you operate. The idea is that the organization of midwives should have a day-to-day concern of making quality care a practice in the community. The second is we would like to see midwives develop and promote business models like your franchising model, your Well Family Midwife Clinic is one successful business model for viably establishing and sustaining the professional practice of midwifery that delivers quality care. So, we would like to see different models prosper and take root so that it would be easier for an ordinary midwife to start thinking about going into business for herself. And finally, we would like to see midwives improve the service delivery and business practices that they undertake so that they can reach and serve more clients. We would like to see midwives increase their client loads. We would like to see midwives improve their reputation in the community. And most of all, we would like to see private practice midwives accepted within the context of local health service delivery systems. Next slide. That's why our project began last year, November last year. So we are just finished with 6 months. We are not even in our offices yet. We are occupying temporarily office in Ortigas. We hope to move to our